Well, good morning and welcome to another episode of Talk to the Doctor. And I'm sitting here today with David Elecciri, aka David Electric, guitarist for Steel Pulse, and just all around cool dude, man. What's up, mister?
What's happening? Good to be here.
Good to have you. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Really good to see you. So, you know what I want to do is ask you straight in. I want to come straight in on, early years. Like, when was the first time you knew, kind of when you picked up your first guitar? Where did it all start for you?
I think it started from day one. Just came out crying. And it just started from then. And both parents were really into music, both sides of the family. So it was just a natural thing for me to fall right in to that path. There was always a musical instrument around, a guitar, piano, a drum set,
Cool.
record player. And
what kind of music was being listened to in the house when you were a grom?
oh, wow. My parents were lovers of all music. So, you had jazz, you had blues, you had rock, reggae, of course, swing jazz, of course.
Interesting.
Country music even, all of it really. So
really, that's really cool. A lot of musical influence from across the board in your childhood.
Mm-hmm. And, cultural, being, Mexican, so we had a lot of, just old Spanish records and, mariachi and, all the good stuff from Mexico. So
Interesting. Okay. So tell me a little bit about you. Maybe I've always wondered, I don't know if I've ever asked you, I have kind of an eclectic vibe, an eclectic look. What is your genetic background? You mentioned Mexican from one side?
Yeah, both parents from Mexico.
Sick.
Right here.
Really?
First Californios is what they call them, before the U.S. took over Mexico. So my mom's from Sonora, the Gulf of California, right? And dad's family, they're all from here, from California. So
cool.
Original Californios.
Okay.
Yeah.
The mystery is solved. I think, a lot of people have wondered, you just have kind of a unique look. It's hard to, the same have been asked of me a lot of times. Like, what the hell are you, mister?
And got to give it credit, though, to our great-grandfather, Carlos Elecciri. He's actually from the Basque country.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was Basque. And he came out here to the West to work as a blacksmith. And from what I understand, he worked, he came here when it was Mexico, and then he actually helped build some cannons over there on Catalina Island that are still there.
Wow. What an incredible story and background about the, when you ask about someone's background and you hear some of the coolest stuff, like that's just so cool stuff. So you grew up in a house where there was a lot of musical energy, a lot of music influences. And then was there a moment when at what stage did you realize, I'm doing this music thing and that's what I'm going to do?
Really young, honestly. As long as I can remember, that's all I wanted to do.
Sick.
Dad was a coach too. He was a football coach and straight conditioning coach.
Full
and,
gnarly athlete, dude.
But he was really into music himself. He'd have jams, like our family would come over, our friends, and they would just be jamming in the garage. So watching that, between playing sports and playing music, that was pretty much my life. And obviously surfing was a huge part of our culture growing up here. And
big time.
Both parents were surfers as well.
Sick.
So
really. Oh, how cool is that? Both parents, musicians, surfers, athletes, sounds like a really healthy environment to be around, growing up as far as influences, right?
Right.
Like it's cool to be able to have that kind of background where you were probably really reasonably supported. I don't mean financially, but just supported spiritually to do what these pursuits were.
Yeah, they were really very supportive of my dreams. I owe it all to them, really. And, growing up, and having that diversity in the house, it just made it easier to like, oh, okay, this is within my grasp. So there was a time where I wanted to be, a professional football player. There was a time like growing up as a kid, here we are raised on the gridiron and
Totally.
you're seeing all these players and dad influencing all these athletes. And it's just like, wow, I'm going to be part of that one day. And
I love football so much.
And
so
the
I
music
understand,
aspect, the music aspect, same thing. They'd be jamming at the house. My dad would throw these really killer parties with our family and friends and students and athletes, and they'd just be jamming into the night, and that was really inspiring for me to see how like music and brought everybody together. And, you know, and just the camaraderie of sports, the athletic camaraderie of, you know, the generations. You know, my dad had, you know, his athletes, you know, within a 40-year span that would come in and just hang at the parties and jam.
Yeah, that's an incredible mix too, right? I mean, because all the, you know, I don't know. I've never met anyone that didn't love music. You meet people that football might not be their thing. Surfing might not be their thing, but I'm pretty sure everyone, I don't know if I ever met anyone that said, no, I don't like music. I don't think so, right?
Yeah, and you would throw big parties at our house or down at Sano, you know, where you can have 200 people on the beach and, you know, without having any problems.
Yeah. You know, like those ones they used to do when we had we had, you know, different shows with Hans and Hammy, and they had their band back in the day, Steel Rock, and they would do those gigs down at like Lost Wind parties, right? And just, you know, that whole kind of beach energy with music and surfing and whatever, you know, it's part of our culture, you know. It's so cool that you found your way into a lifestyle where you could pursue and live the dream of actually, you know, pulling it off, right? Because it's one thing to want it. It's like, you know, so many friends we know in town that, you know, they were Groms and they were really good surfers and they dreamed to be pro surfers, and lo and behold, that's what they did. Yeah. And we've been influenced by a lot of that.
And I knew at a young age there was no chance of me being a pro surfer as much as I would wanted to be. I just knew, you know, just from my peers around me, you know, you had the Fletchers, you know, you had Wardo, which was like the same age as me, but growing up with these people around us, Archie and Mattison.
Justin Mattison?
Yeah, that was a really good family friend
surfer.
of us.
Oh, cool.
You know, and growing up seeing him and Robo, obviously, he's a couple of years younger than I am, but he was just ripping hard. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to compete with these guys. So I
better figure something else out.
I was just like, you know, I'm going to sit back and just enjoy it, and it inspired me to keep surfing. But I just knew, like, okay, that's their path.
That's their path.
And music and sports, as far as, you know, but I felt like, okay, I could do something with this music thing, you know, and the sports, you know, I think I can, you know, take this one pretty far.
So with that said, what was your first gig?
My first gig, that's a good question. I'm trying to remember my first gig.
When you actually like
made money?
Let's go that way.
Okay.
Yeah. Not
the local talent show at the high school.
I mean, let's go for the jugular on that.
It was just like I think it was one of my friends' parties in high school, and
they hook you up with some cashish.
Yeah,
sick.
You know, a little bit. Sure. You know, because he was charging at the door.
Nice.
And I think there was probably a few hundred kids at this party, so that was definitely, I think, our first gig, and that was around 10th grade. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, 10th, 11th grade.
Okay, so we're 16 about that time, and so 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You're 46 now.
Yeah.
Okay. So 30 years ago, you had a gig at a party, and they paid you some money, and what band was that in?
There was like actually no name.
It was a no-name band with you and a couple buddies?
Yeah, just the buddies from school. And
so your first band didn't really ever pick a name. You kind of just jammed with the boys, did some songs. Were those original songs?
No, we just we
did covers.
We played a couple originals, but we played mainly the cover songs and stuff like that. You know, for the party.
What was what kind of music did that band play? If you were
reggae and rock.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
So it actually did some rock, like rock.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where it kind of all started.
But I mean, I think it was like the 9th grade talent show. I put together a band too, same guys.
Sick.
And we played
San Clemente High School.
Your House by Steel Pulse.
Okay, yeah, I love that song.
Yeah.
Wow, what a trip, huh?
I know, right?
Wow. Cosmic.
I actually went to Capistrano Valley High School.
Oh, Capo, that's right. Okay, yeah.
Because my father, he left San Clemente High School as the head football coach and went back to Capistrano Valley High School to coach. And so when that happened, that was my freshman year, like right before my freshman year of high school. So, you know, coming out of Shore Cliffs.
Yeah, you went that way.
And I went
which is a stone's throw. I mean, it's like 4 feet away, but it's right over there. Right. Yeah. Okay.
It was kind of a big deal. Pops left San Clemente.
Oh, it was a big deal for sure.
Yeah. And went back to Capo because he opened up Capo in '77 and was part of the first coaching staff and teaching staff of that school, and then
absolutely
came to San Clemente High School in the '80s to be the head football coach there for 5 years. And then
Beautiful.
at the end of that span, my sister just graduated from San Clemente High School, which was like 93, and that was my time to be a freshman. And at that time, my dad was making the transition
Back to Capo.
Back to Capo. So I ended up going back to Capo. I got a lot of shit.
Flack for that. Yeah. No, I know.
I don't know if I can say that on here.
You can say whatever you want, my man.
Yeah, I got a lot of shit for going to Capo because there was a huge rivalry, obviously, within the sports athletic field.
Big time.
And even at
Even
that
at
time,
the beach and the
Mexican gangs too.
Oh
at the
yeah,
time,
93. There was gnarly stuff going on.
Yeah, the SCVC and the San Juan gang, and it was
gnarly time.
I had to defend myself, but one thing that I had protecting me was my dad being a teacher, an educator within the area. Both parents, and so they've taught both sides. They taught all these kids. My dad taught at the continuation school at J. Sarah, so he would get kids from every school,
sure,
and make sure that they graduate. At all walks of life.
Yeah.
So when people would approach me and start like getting on me for changing schools, I'm like, hey man, you can't say anything. I'm just like you. Like
totally.
You know who my dad is. And,
totally.
That's
really cool. I mean, hard. I knew the second you said there was Capo, I instantly went, oh, that must have been tough a little bit being from San Clemente, right? That's a tough one. Even you're probably going, oh my God, Dad. Like
in the
my
newspapers.
9th grade year, like, whoa, don't do this to me. But then you make the best of it. You go there. It makes you stronger. It makes you go through all this stuff. And then when you come back to San Clemente or whatever, you're even that much more appreciative of the whole connection between the whole thing.
And I understand because these are people that I grew up with, from very young playing football in the field, or in elementary at Ole Hansen picking teams,
Totally.
even Shorecliffs Junior High. So when I made that transition, there was a lot of heartfelt like things going on and animosity.
There was a lot going on.
But
culturally.
realize as time went on, we all realized it didn't really matter, where I was at,
yes.
I'm still the same person.
Yeah, and plus you created that connection between everybody. And people from here get a little like, ooh, but it's kind of stupid.
It is.
It's so stupid.
It's
like territorial stupidity.
We're just neighbors. We're all part of the same community, really. We really are. And
yes.
So yeah, that was a tough time, but it also made some really good things, like
good things came from it.
Good things came from it.
Yeah. So you're with the first band and it doesn't really have a name and you guys get to go to the talent show and do well. And then do you do well at the talent show?
Yeah. Yeah, I did pretty well.
Okay. And then the next year you're playing parties.
Yeah.
And then at what stage does it kind of then take another step? Like what was your next band?
I think it was like my senior year. They had us play for the pep rally for the big homecoming game, in the gymnasium in front of the whole school. And I picked to play roller skates, Steel Pulse roller skates. And
love that song.
And I think it was like my senior year, and it was like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna keep playing football or am I gonna pursue this music thing? And I think it was even the year before my junior year, there was a big time for me. I got busted with marijuana in school. I came back from Hawaii, a couple big sacks of herb, and was bringing some for the boys. And
some Hawaiian.
Yeah. And got busted at school with it.
Oh, at school.
Yeah.
I was going to say, not at the airport.
No.
Just a school thing, but still.
Just dumb young
but
stuff.
I mean, it was way before legal marijuana and everything.
Yeah,
right?
so
it wasn't that good.
I got expelled from school. It was a big deal, and and here I am, playing football. Our football team's doing really well, and here I am. I get kicked out of school, so I didn't get to play my junior year.
Ooh.
And I had to make my way back
into
the lineup.
Okay.
Yeah,
as a senior.
Back into school, like actual, like real high school, because there was a time where I was going to Horizons.
Oh, Horizons,
Remember Horizons, right next to the gym?
I'm the first class that ever went to Sarah.
Really?
I went to Sarah when it was just formed.
Wow.
In 1976.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I'm aware of that whole model, right? A lot of just people that were a little bit outside the box had to kind of study elsewhere, if you will.
So I did that I did that for my junior year.
So did I.
I got reinstated.
I did for my junior year as well. That's so cool. And then you came back.
I came
to
back.
San Clemente. Or was it Capo?
I went back to Capo.
Capo, yeah, that's right. You went back to Capo.
Last year
and your dad was coach?
Oh yeah.
Sick.
Pops was coach.
What did you play? What position?
I was a linebacker.
Oh boy, I spent
defensive
my whole
end.
life running from you guys. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. And you weighed what at that time? What did you
big.
weigh?
Remember me at the gym?
I do.
Yeah, we were getting.
I do.
We were lifting some heavy weights.
I know, but I'm just talking about how much did you weigh, my man?
Okay,
as a linebacker, you're coming in
235 pounds.
Holy crap! That's a piece of meat coming at you when
6'1",
you're
235.
coming back from where I was, where I was playing on the team. Oh my gosh, awesome stuff! And you weigh what today?
200.
Okay, so you've dropped 35 pack.
Yeah.
And you're lean and mean at 200.
Well, yeah.
And you were pretty stocky malaki at 235, coming in hot as a linebacker.
The thing is, I look at a weight and I gain weight. So I don't lift heavy weights anymore, as much back then. But that's all what we did. We played football. And
you're lifting for power,
Lifting for power.
Yeah. An explosion, right? And that's good.
And all
so
your hormones are
totally,
bursting,
dude. Just, yeah. I mean, I've never lifted that kind of lifting myself as far as max weight, but I've been around it. I understand it. Yeah. But yeah, so
the pep rally. Let's get back to the pep rally.
Let's get back to the pep rally. So you guys are playing at the pep rally.
Playing at the pep rally. Everybody's just loving it. And it was just like, okay, I guess,
was this the same band? Was this all the boys, the same one?
Same high school band.
Same high school buddies. Still no name.
Still no name. And and I was just like, maybe there is something to this. Maybe I can really make this happen. And
that was encouraging. It kind of encouraged you, yeah.
Because just for the rest of the school
year,
everybody's just like stoked
yeah.
on it, and like, what's the next one? And
sick.
And so that got me thinking, And then the year passed, and graduated, and I went to. We had a big party at State Park, my big high school graduation party, and then literally the next day, I went and flew to Maui to stay with my mom's side of the family who are from Makawao.
I'm very familiar with Makawao.
Country. Yeah. And I went up there and stayed with my family and my cousins, and was kind of like, okay, what am I going to decide to do? Am I gonna play football, or am I going to pursue this music thing? And that year, Damian Marley came out with his first album. An artist named Fiji came out with his first album in '97, and so going to Hawaii, that there's 24/7 reggae on the air. The radio stations are just playing reggae nonstop.
And there's a lot of Hawaiian reggae.
Jawaiian.
Jawaiian. Yeah,
and it was really
beautiful
inspiring.
Music. Yeah,
so surfing with my cousins, the music, got to see Fiji.
They played on Maui.
Yeah.
Were they from Maui or?
Fiji's from Fiji, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
How cool.
And,
no way.
So just going to these concerts,
Yeah, Maui had a lot of really cool reggae concerts for sure.
And then coming back from that, and I'm like, this is what I want to do. I was going to either go back to football camp or like, let's start this music journey. And when I came back from Maui, I went straight to a show at the Coach House, and it was Steel Pulse. And sold out, and I just coming back from a high from Maui, and that was just a sign, like, yeah, this is what I want to do, this is gonna be it. I'm gonna play here at the Coach House, I want to start.
Set the goal.
Here.
You set the goal.
Set the goal.
I'm gonna play this gig.
And literally the few more months later, I was playing at the Coach House with my first reggae band here in San Clemente. We were called Black and White.
Sick.
And a lot of people don't understand, like, there's a lot of history of roots reggae right here in South Orange County. I mean, at that time when I joined this band, we were called Black and White. Literally right down the street on Sacramento, North San Clemente, there was Peter Tosh's bass player, Foley Fullwood, was residing there. And I think he resided in San Clemente for about 40 years.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
And then one of my dad's really close friends, Jackie Banda, who, the owners of El Patio Cafe, that family, the Banda family, really good friends with them, family friends of ours. And Jackie used to house a lot of the roots reggae musicians that would come in, like Peter Tosh's band, Israel Vibes. They would come and stay with him in Capo, you know. So you had, you know, Peter Tosh hanging out in Capo Beach back in the 80s, and his band, and Fully Forward obviously stayed.
Peter Tosh himself?
Yeah.
Sick.
And the guitarist, Tony Chin, he ended up marrying my dad's best friend's daughter. So one of the coaches, the old coaches I've known my whole life, right? His daughter ended up marrying the guitarist, Tony. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So there's some interwoven stuff starting to come around your world.
Yeah. And there's like, you know, a lot of people didn't know that. Like, and also that the original bass player of Steel Pulse, Ronnie McQueen, after leaving, you know, the band, he moved to SoCal, and he actually was living in Laguna Beach for like, I think, over 20 years or something. So we would be seeing him too, and be like, yo, that's Ronnie McQueen. That's the original bassist of Steel Pulse. So that's Fully Forward. That's incredible. You know, that's Peter Tosh's bass player, and Tony Chen. And it's like, really, it was really enlightening and very encouraging, very inspiring for this reggae movement that we had in 90. I mean, we started our band in 97, and we're just playing local gigs. But to have actually, here I am, a drummer, you know, in this band. That's what I played. I played drums, not guitar.
In black and white.
In black and white.
Okay.
And here's the bass player I get to jam with. It's Fully Forward. You know, and he would sit in on these gigs with us every now and then. And
you're playing drums. Fully Forward's on the bass.
On the bass.
And it's just, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of gelling this vibe.
Right. And you know what? Thanks to the recycler paper. Remember that? Remember the recycler paper? They had like the musician section. Yeah. And I remember coming home, you know, from Maui after the concert at Steel Pulse at the Coach House, going to the recycler and looking for musicians to play with, you know. And there was a phone number, you know, and I call, you know, like, hey, you know, I'm calling they were looking for a bass player and a drummer. And I'm like, yeah, I play both, you know. And they're like, well, I live in San Clemente. I'm like, San Clemente? I'm like, really? I'm like, I'm in San
right
Clemente too.
Street,
yeah.
Boy.
So it's this Panamanian guy that moved with his wife on De La Grula. And
beautiful street.
Yeah. So I went down there, and he's like, yeah, I'm really kind of looking for a bass player, because obviously Fully Forward was just a guy that was filling in because he didn't have a real bass player for the band. So I came in and auditioned for the bass. He's like, oh, okay, yeah. You know, I'm young, I'm so green. All I want to do is just play, you know.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way. He's like, yeah, well, you know, keep practicing, kid, you know. And then I'm like, well, I play drums too, you know. He's like, really? He's like, yeah, I think
really?
I'm a better drummer than a bass player. And he's like, okay. He's like, go grab your kit. So I came back and auditioned, and I got the job. Insane. Know, as a drummer. So
oh my gosh, that's such a cool story. Came in as doing the bass, but they said, yeah, you know, don't quit that. But you know, but I do this, and then boom, and this was for who are we with?
Black and White.
That's for Black and White.
Yeah, this is Black and White.
That's how you got the Black and White gig.
And I'm, you know, barely 18 years old, and these guys are a lot older than me. You know,
okay.
At least twice as old. You know.
40, these guys are 35, and you're barely 18.
40, and Fully's like in his 50s.
Oh,
you know?
damn. Okay.
And so I'm playing with a lot of those older cats, but I'm just loving it because all I want to do is just play. So I think one of our first gigs was China Beach, you know, just down the road.
So incredible.
Yeah.
Is it possible somewhere there's the flyer from that or anything?
Yeah, I got one of those floating around.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
You know,
so cool.
And you know,
Love
China Beach
like
was such a
iconic kind of
venue for us.
Yeah, for everybody. So now we're the drummer for Black and White.
Yeah.
And this is around 97,
98, 99. Yeah, it was for those 3 years. I was with this group.
Okay.
And so we were playing China Beach, the Tropicana. Was another local gig that we were doing. I'm trying to think. It's Coconuts. Remember
down in Capo,
across the street from El Patio.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
And then the Coach House.
Okay. Yeah, that's the spot. You know, down here, right?
The spot, because what the Coach House did, it gave local groups a showcase, a platform, especially for us reggae musicians. They would always have the best reggae bands coming through. I mean, Gregory Isaacs. I saw Burning Spear, Steel Pulse, of course.
Third World.
Third World.
Yeah.
You name it. Everyone played there.
They played there, yeah.
And but what Coach House would do as local musicians, they would give us a chance to open up.
Yeah.
And they would give us a discounted ticket and be like, this is what we need back from these tickets, but the rest you can keep. So it was really cool because
Totally.
here we are, just like a local band, and we could actually, with all my friends in the surrounding area, I had some, hey, you guys want to go see Steel Pulse? You want to go see Ecomouse? Here, I got tickets for $10, or whatever. So I would make like $5 off of the ticket, or $2 or whatever it was.
Whatever it was.
Every time was a little different.
But it also puts you in a position to open up for some of these really global acts, right?
Yeah.
And is there anything recorded from Black and White?
Yeah, there actually is. There is actually an album, but I'll tell you about that. That was a really funny experience for me and very eye-opening with the music industry. When you meet people in the music industry, you as a young kid, you go in with the best intentions, and then you come across these guys that have been in it for a long time, and
sharks.
Yeah,
Do I feel like I'm about to hear a shark story.
Yeah, just
the business.
Yeah,
the industry.
business, the industry.
Not
part
the
of
purity of musician and just loving music. It's
Right.
all of a sudden you got these hey, let's talk business.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and trying to change, what we're doing, and that's what happened. We were a band for a few years, doing really well. We went in the studio, had Fully Fluid producing our album.
Sick.
Got to meet some incredible musicians too. Like we had Santa Davis came in. He was also a drummer for Bob Marley and the Soul Syndicate Jamaican band, part of Peter Tosh's group as well.
That's freaking awesome.
So we were recording this album, a studio album, and I'm just this young kid. I'm just like, this is the best thing ever, right? Everything's going so good, and then the anticipations, everybody, oh yeah, can't wait for the new album, The album's done, right? And the leader of the group, the head guy, Carlos, he comes and he's out, here it is, and gives me a CD, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, Ross Collin and the Roots Rockers. I'm like, who's this? I'm like, this is us. This is not us.
Oh.
He's like, I changed the name. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm like, you changed the name?
Did you ask us? Oh my God.
But I mean, he felt entitled to it because he was paying for everything. This is his group. But he changed the name of the band. So
without even asking.
So when the album drops, right, everybody's like, yeah, Black and White. No. It's Ross Collin.
Who's Ross Collin?
Exactly. That's what I said. I'm like, who's Ross Collin? Because I know this guy is Carlos. I know him as Carlos, right? And he's like, yeah, that's me. And he's like, that's my middle name, Colleen.
I've heard a lot of really funky stories about as people take their creative energy, whether it be, music or acting or whatever it is, art, and then as they try to get into the commerce side of things. I've heard some funky stories, but that one, man, that's rough.
So that was kind of a letdown, but I didn't let it get to me. And I'm like, whatever. I just want to play.
Yeah, I love that. I love that right there. That's kind of a theme for the show right now.
Yeah.
I just want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what it came down to. And I didn't let it get to me. And I was just like, hey, let's just play music. And we did.
Okay.
And we did pretty well up until I think it was this gig we did at the Sunken Garden in Texas. It's I'm trying to think.
Kind of like a Coach House for there?
No, this was this was part of a Bob Marley tour back then, and he got us on this Bob Marley tour. It was pretty sick, and
so he did do some good things.
Yeah, we were doing really good things.
This guy that renamed the band actually did some good stuff too.
Yeah, because the band was building momentum, and
I don't know. I think the name Black and White was really cool. I don't know what his
No Shades of Gray.
Weird,
and right?
Totally. Oh my God.
And so the names changed, but we're creating momentum, and we play this really killer venue in San Antonio. It's called the Sunken Garden.
Okay.
It's kind of an iconic amphitheater, outdoor amphitheater, and just totally stoked. And
Is that down in the Riverwalk area of San Antonio?
It has to be.
There?
I haven't been down there in a long time.
Yeah.
I think it was the last time I've actually been there.
Yeah. It's a rare place for us all to be.
And so we're playing this big concert, and the band that was going to be playing after us needed a guitar player because their guitar player didn't show up. And I knew the band, you know, I think it was Fully Fluid was there. This guy named George Hughes, rest in peace. And so he's like, okay. And I'm like, hey, I play guitar. And he's like, you play guitar? I'm like, yeah, I play guitar. I'll jam with you.
Boy, I got it.
Yeah. And he's like, okay. He's like, you sure? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, here. And he writes down some chords for me. He's like, can you play this? And I played it for him. He's like, okay, all right. Well, here are the songs that we're doing. Here's the keys. You know, just skank, lead when I tell you to. And that's about it, pretty much. So I did that, and that was, you know, we already played our set. And so I did that set with them, and the leader of the group, Black and White, or Ross Collin, he got so upset with me because I did that.
Oh.
Yeah. And these are his friends too. And I think he was a little jealous that I was actually up on stage with these legends playing guitar. You know what I mean? He's looking at it like, why? Like,
that's my, ugh.
You know, kind of thing.
That's gross.
And
just weird energy.
So after that show, you know, I got the call like, hey,
you're fired.
You're fired. I'm like, cool, man. No worries. You know what? You know.
So are you.
Yeah. So are you, buddy. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So a turning point.
Yeah. Turning point.
And
big
then,
turning point.
Big turning point, because then progressing, you know, kind of out of that zone.
Right.
What you know, moving forward, what.
It's one of the best things ever happened out of that.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
The neighborhood boys pulled up together. Mikey B. Ortiz, you know. We went to school together. He's a little older than I am, but we went to Capo together.
Classic,
and,
yeah.
Was also a monster reggae musician.
Full blown.
Yeah.
Right.
Adam Arredondo, John Mex.
I know Adam.
Yeah. We formed a band.
Cool.
And then at that time, I was working at Guitar Center in the drum section, right?
How fitting.
Yeah.
Just incredibly fitting.
Oh, it was the best job.
Insane.
Right?
Yeah.
And just hooking up all my boys. All
totally.
My friends, you know,
just the whole thing, just in the mix. I love music. All I want to do is play.
Yeah.
So my job is at Guitar Center. Hello.
And that was when El Toro store just opened too.
Yeah.
So it was like.
It was the thing.
It was the thing.
I went there a lot.
Man.
It was a thing.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, the best.
It was rad. Yeah.
So working there, I was meeting a lot of musicians, and then out of nowhere, this guy comes out and starts playing drums. He's ripping like all these reggae beats. I'm like, whoa, is this guy? I go up, I'm like, hey man, what's up? He's like, my name's Morris. You know, I'm from Jamaica. I just moved here from Cancun with my wife. You know, I'm a reggae drummer. Just moved here. I'm like, you don't play with anybody? He's like, no. I'm like, do you have a drum set? He's like, no. I'm like, you want to be in a band? I got a band. Let's jam.
Because he was so good.
I got
so
a drum
cool.
set.
He's like, hey, dude, get over here.
Yeah.
Let me pull in this talent.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we formed the neighborhood band.
Okay.
It was me, Mikey, Adam Arredondo, and Morris Sterling. You know,
wow.
Jamaican, you know, fresh out of Jamaica
Sick.
drummer, right? Just such a cool cat to this day. Just a genuine person to this day.
And you played what in that band?
I play guitar.
Okay, so now you're a guitar because you started drumming, bass, and now you moved up a guitar because you did all of it.
Yeah, guitar and vocals now, and so we ended up practicing at the Ocean Minded office.
Gary's spot.
Yeah, Gary's spot, because Mikey at the time was working there as his warehouse manager. And Gary's like, you guys can go
just
ahead
jam
and
in here, yeah.
You guys can use the office for rehearsal. Just keep it nice, you know. And Gary was so, he was so cool about that. And
that's really cool.
And so
right there on the corner there, right by De Los Mineros bar right
DSC's there now.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was the start of the neighborhood band.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was the name of it?
Yeah, we were called the Neighborhood.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the Neighborhood.
Okay.
Because we were just the neighborhood local boys, you know?
Yeah.
And that took off pretty well. We started doing shows, obviously, at the Coach House. Duke's opened. So that was like a regular gig for us, Duke's, when we had Duke's.
Yeah.
So we just started doing gigs up and down the coast. You know,
the neighborhood band.
And then, you know, remember Doheny Days? Remember
I do.
Remember that?
Yeah, that festival.
That was one of the big shows of ours at that time when they brought the big reggae festival.
And you guys got to play in that?
We got to open up.
Oh, sick.
You know, so that was a band that was really doing well, you know, and through creative differences, we all kind of did our own thing. You know, and
kind of flowed off into other projects with other people, but it was a great home base for a while.
It was.
Yeah.
And there was another girl that got involved with that band. Her name was Anesha Rose, and incredible singer. You know, she still plays around town these days. She's an incredible singer. And so we just kind of like, for creative differences, we just kind of did some other things. And then that's when I fell into the World Anthem band.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was around 2003.
Yeah, that's that was like a Laguna-based guys. What's
with you know, members of Common Sense. And,
what's his name?
So you had Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Yeah. Jelani Jones, of course, and
Jelani. Come on, yeah.
At that time, they had like 4 drummers on rotation because everybody was touring with somebody. Like Drew Hester was touring, I think, with like Sheryl Crow, and you had like Dean Butterworth. You had Rock Dedrick, you know.
Sick.
And it was like
just kind of whoever could sit in on drums could pull it.
Yeah, there was
cool.
Guy named Delhart McGregor. So they had a big pool of drummers. I mean, it was just a killer band, and I ended up playing, you know, being the rhythm.
And that band was called what?
World Anthem.
Yeah, that's right, World Anthem.
Jay Batuk was from Common Sense as well. He was in the band as well. Marcus Damian, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, that band. So, you know,
they're still there.
Wow.
They're still playing
World
there.
Anthem still plays.
Yeah, and over 30 years.
That's incredible.
Every Thursday night.
So cool.
So I did that for a while.
What, at the Dirty Bird?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did that for, I don't know, 6-7 years.
Cool.
And, yeah, that was some of the best times of my life, and just learning lessons of life and just learning as a musician from these really stellar musicians. You know,
that was a group
these
for
guys
sure.
were
Yeah,
doing it.
An eclectic like mix of, and then what flowed from that?
Just getting in the studio, creating an album, and just wanted to take it all the way. You know, I just wanted to keep playing. I wanted to keep
I just
playing.
want to play.
Yeah, I just wanted to play. And being an independent musician back then, I mean, we're not making that much money. So at that time I had like, I don't know, 5 jobs, you know.
Damn.
Because you remember, I started working at 24 Hour Fitness.
That's right.
As a trainer.
I remember that.
Yeah, they got me to become a trainer there. Remember?
And I want to say that's about 25 years ago.
That was a long time ago.
25 years ago. We kind of, I mean, I know we had seen each other around, as you were explaining earlier, even when you were Grom and stuff, but like, you know, at that stage, I remember that's kind of how I first remember encountering you. Yeah.
It was,
in the gym.
So I was like a training manager, a personal trainer, an audio engineer, a musician at night, a bouncer, you know?
Yeah. So funny.
So
all your passions,
just to
you know,
keep
you got fitness in there, you got music in there, you got everything's blended in. It's, you know, follow your dream, follow your passion.
You got it, whatever it takes, you know? So I had like 5 jobs.
Okay.
And just keeping the dream alive, you know? And then there was a time where it was like, okay, what's next? Because the band World Anthem, you know, it's great. You know, we were trying to push, we're making a big push. But because of creative differences, you know, we kind of I left, you know, and I was doing some other things too. And,
you know,
nothing, no animosity.
Yeah,
or
just
anything
everyone
like that.
flow in their own directions, you know, yeah.
And I just knew like, okay, there's got to be, there's something more. There's something going to happen. And then within that time, I was partnered with this studio called California Sound Studios. And when I went in there to get the band, you know, the World Anthem, to start recording some stuff, I met these people of California Sound Studios. It's not there anymore, but at that time it was Warren G was working out of this studio here in Lake Forest. So it was really cool. I got to record and work as a producer and a musician at this studio. So I was doing a lot of that too as well at that, like that transitional time. So I'm like, all right. So
Clicking into that one.
So I started producing a lot of music, and that was going really well. And I'd say about like 2012 is when I met Steel Pulse. I met them here at the Coach House.
Okay.
One afternoon, and when I met them, it was because of the owner, Gary. I came in like around noon, midday, and literally right across the train tracks, there's the Capistrano Estates, and my grandparents were living there on their last days, and we were taking care of my grandmother at that time. My grandfather just passed, and my grandmother's still there, and we're taking care of her on the daily. And so I just happened to see that Steel Pulse was going to be in town. I'm like, whoa, I haven't been to the Coach House in a while, right? It's been some years since I've been to the Coach House, and even seen Steel Pulse play.
Sure.
I hadn't seen them for years, actually. And I was like, whoa, in the newspaper, I'm like, oh, I gotta. So I jump up. I gotta go check this gig out. So it's like, around lunchtime. So I jump over the wall, cross the train tracks, run up to the Coach House to see Gary. And I've known Gary over the years, Gary and Clyde, because they hooked me up with those gigs at the Coach House all those years. And Gary's like, he's like, hey kid, come cruise tonight. And right when I was there, they pulled up. Steel Pulse pulled up, and he's like, hey, hold on a second. And they pulled up, and then David Hines' son, the lead singer, came up and checked in with, up into the office and stuff. And Gary introduced me to Dave, and that's how I got to, be introduced to the band. And he was just like, this is a local musician. And I'm like, hey, man. And then David's son, his name's Baruch. His actual first name is David, but we call him Baruch, and that's his middle name. And he's like, you got any music? You got any stuff you've been doing? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So I
damn right I do.
I run back, grab a CD, because we had CDs still back then, and gave him a couple discs of like what I was doing. And on the discs I had like a bunch of different songs, reggae, hip hop. At that time I was doing some hip hop stuff, and a couple of remixes that I did of Steel Pulse, and he was digging them, and then next thing you know, I get the invite to hang out, and then next thing you know, they're flying over to record with me, and that was just like
incredible.
Wow. It was incredible.
That must have just made you feel just incredible, like this world-class, epic, all-time reggae band, right? That somehow just organically, naturally, by following your passion, because I just want to play, ends up becoming just unfolding before your very eyes, because once again, you were just jumping across the tracks trying to get over to, just loving music so much. They felt the vibe. And then what year was that where you formally got invited into Steel Pulse?
Well, 2012 is when I met them, right?
Okay.
And it was that year when I started recording with them.
Insane.
And it was like, it was so funny,
so validating.
Because I had the studio, so they felt like, okay, this guy's kind of legit, and
he's got some stuff going on,
and we can come over here and we can record. And so Baruch came, David's son came, and we recorded some stuff. And then his dad was like, whoa, okay, I gotta come now. So David Hines, he's like, hey, we got a gig. I think it was Doheny Days. The last Doheny Days we had was 2012.
Okay.
Right? And he's like, hey, after another show, I'm going to come back. I'm going to fly back, and I'm going to stay with you for, however long, do some recordings.
And you're like, and he's like, I just wanted to let you know that. And you're like, yeah, get over here, mister.
Yeah. So he sent me a file of just his voice, like, hey, this is a song I've been working on. See what you can do this. And he sent me a track with just his voice.
Sick.
And I was like, all right, I'll get on it, and I put something together, and I sent it back to him. He's like, whoa. He's like, this is great. He's like, all right, so I'm going to come over. We're going to record. We're going to work on this song. And so at that time I was living with Mikey B, and Morris, our drummer, our old drummer, right? And we were living on Victoria. I think it's 205 Victoria in the
Pure I know Bowl, right where it is, right? Yeah.
We had a killer spot, and Mikey, he was running the spot, And he's like, he didn't really like too many people coming over because he was growing a bunch of ganja in his room at the time, like killer ganja. Like he had it down, man.
That's so rad.
So he was just we're really just, you know,
yeah,
we're really just low key
Yeah.
on who we bring into the house,
Totally.
right? And so I was like, hey, Mike, I got a friend that's coming over. You know, he's gonna stay with us for a few days, whatnot. And
you didn't tell him who?
yeah, I didn't tell him who. And I brought him, you know, brought David home. Yeah, and it was like Mike couldn't believe. He's like, what? He's like, David Hines is in our house? I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be staying with us, man, for a couple days, you know.
Insane.
He's just like, wow.
It's
You
a
know?
wow moment.
Yeah, it was wild for all of us.
That's really cool.
Because he's like, who you bringing? I'm like,
Just
yeah, it's cool, man. You know,
now
I
I understand why he was asking a little deeper, like, hey, what's going on? That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
And it was funny too because at that time there was these things called volcanoes. Remember those with the bag and stuff? And I remember Mike we were taking hits out of it, and Dave's like, what is that? What is that thing? Never seen anything like that. And you want to try it? You know, he took a little puff.
Just right, get all bubbled up.
Just to
That's
try
so
it.
funny,
You
yeah.
know, because we're telling him like, yeah, it's just the vapor.
Yeah.
That's all it is. He's
Yeah.
like, really?
It's intense vaporizing.
He's like, that's
right.
it's like,
It's
that's
a volcano vapor.
It's interesting. So
That's
California,
so
man.
funny. Yeah. Well, we definitely have, you know, California is a pretty classic place when it comes to everything we're talking about and more, right? It's like, obviously Jamaica is too, but California holds its own on so many categories. You know, I love my state. I've traveled a lot, lived in a lot of places, but it's, you know, there's so many people here. It's the hardest part is it's just everyone came here and wants to live here.
Yeah.
So they all moved here now, and it's a
Yeah.
little gnarly,
I
right?
know.
But it's just, it's such a beautiful place. And it does bring so many awesome people come to California. So it's such a good example of following your passion, and just it unfolds before your eyes if you just keep following it,
Yeah.
right?
And, you know,
So then you came into the band.
Well, started recording.
Yeah, recording,
and producing.
right. Okay.
You know, and
So you were producing Steel Pulse songs?
yeah, that's where he came to start
You
working
initially
on the new album.
Were
yeah.
like a studio musician for them and producing the songs in the
Yeah.
studio.
So he's hired me as a
Gosh.
producer.
You know,
And he
That's
just
pretty
wanted to,
amazing.
honestly, I think after the first session that we had, like the first time he came and hung out with us, you know, I was showing him around San Clemente, and from what I understand, they played in San Clemente in the 80s at the Miramar. From what I think it was like 82 or something.
Mhm.
And so Dave knows of San Clemente because not only that, but because of Richard Nixon, you know, living here, and he knew all about it. Like David Hines is just an encyclopedia of knowledge, and he knows every single president of the United States by order.
Wow.
Right? So
more than we do.
yeah, so he's
Oh,
like
yeah.
President Nixon, you know, and just to take him around in our town, down to the pier, we're living at the pier, and walking up Del Mar, and taking him to see Nixon's house, and he's just like, wow. He's like, okay. He's like, I see what you're about, and he's like, you're a surfer. He's like, it makes perfect sense.
You're damn right it does, mister.
It's like, oh, you surf? Because we're like, in the mornings, me and Mike would be getting our boards and heading down.
Mhm.
And he's like, oh, you're a surfer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did he come check it out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sykes, probably.
He was.
It's a trip because there's waves in Jamaica too, but, you know,
Mhm.
not, I mean.
But they were raised in England.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so they don't really Jamaica found. Yeah, they're England. Well, there's waves in England too.
They're Jamaican, but
Go to Cornwall and Newquay and all that.
yeah, but born in
Okay.
England. So he was really just digging the vibe, just the energy,
Yeah.
you know, that I was
Totally.
able to bring to them as a fresh new energy.
Yeah.
And at that time they were looking for, you know, he was looking to do another album. Their album, the last album they had at the time, was in 2004. They released an album called African Holocaust, which was an incredible album. But from 2004 to 2012, they didn't put out anything.
8 years.
And he's
Yeah.
been working on trying to get something going. But the producers that he was working with, he wasn't really getting what he was looking for, something fresh. And
Mhm.
that's what he found with me. And as much as we got to know each other more and more, he understood how much the band meant to me and how much I knew what the band was really about, you know, and the intention that this band, you know, brings.
Yeah, the energy of what
Mhm.
you were trying to put across, like soulfully.
Mm-hmm. and
not just music, like
No.
connecting to like a, I don't want to say message, but like a soulful meaning.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And the legacy of this band is so important to all of us, all walks of life,
It's incredible.
and growing up here, like, yeah, they were one of the bands that everybody listened to.
Oh my gosh. It's like just, it's incredible to me, this story. Like, they're so iconic. And for me, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the way reggae started had a certain kind of militant energy. What they were trying to put across was, it's like the 60s, the path they had to forge so that the people in the 70s could have more fun, in a sense that they really broke down and were rebels. And I feel like they're, Marley and Tosh and all those guys were really, they had a strong, revolutionary energy, in a sense, right?
Yes.
A one love vibe too, but definitely we're trying to, break out of the chains,
Right.
in a sense, right? And I feel like what Steel Pulse did is, and once again, tell me if I'm wrong, but what I feel like is they were the next generation that kind of, because that was done, they were able to come and bring less anger and just more stoke. If I was to kind of say, it's a happy vibe, man. Every song I've ever heard from Steel Pulse, just God, it was so not pissed.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they don't have positive messages trying to break ground, but I feel like they were the ones that came and said, hey, it can also be shining light. Like they kind of did what they did so we could do what we did.
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. And the reason why they started the band was so that they had a voice. They were able to speak out about what was going on in that time and where they were from. And in that time it was like post World War II. There was a lot of racism systemically. There was the National Front that was trying to kick out all the immigrants out of England, out of the UK, and that was a chance, their moment, to be able to speak out about, out against what was going on. And at that same time too, like the punk rock movement was huge.
It's exactly what I was just gonna say. That's so cool you say this. So stoked with that.
And they brought that together, and it, and there was this mutual respect for each other, and there was that movement that was happening that we're like, we're not gonna let this government shut us down and kick out all our friends and our family. Like, no. So they, the punk rockers and the Rastas really gelled together and created some incredible concerts, and I think Steel Pulse's first big showcase that they did, they opened up for the Sex Pistols.
Oh my gosh, that's
and
just incredible when you think about that.
Yeah.
It was just completely mushrooming in my brain as I was thinking about it, because at the time I had moved to Maui and I lived on the, Piahi way, out that way. And punk, when I left, I never heard of it. I mean, maybe a couple guys I knew that I was like, what's that? And then reggae was coming up, and it seemed like they came up at a very similar time from the same nation of people oppressed that were pissed, just in different ways.
Yeah.
Punk had his message, that had their message, but I feel like reggae had its message, different culture, different people, different looks, different style of clothing, different style of music, but essentially the same deal. We're pissed off and we're not taking this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dug it.
Yeah.
Dig seeing the connection.
Yeah.
Really love hearing about that.
And it was a real thing, and really catapulted what those bands were doing, and there was a radio DJ. I'm trying to remember his first name. I remember his last name is Peel. Very famous punk rock DJ.
British?
British.
Yeah.
Peel? I know that's his last name.
I think I've heard of him.
And he was the one who started playing their music on the punk rock stations. And that's what really brought the band to a broader spectrum of audience. And that really kind of catapulted their career there in England, was the punk rock scene. And there's a couple quotes that you can read over the years about how much that was really what helped them break to that other side of that audience, and
Totally.
And they kept doing shows with them, and there was even at that same time, Bob Marley came out with a song called Punky Reggae Party. And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's a punky reggae party. And it's tonight, new wave, new craze.
It's so wild from a listening point of view, and just being a person that loves music and feeling the kind of volcanic even eruption of this energy coming out of England. It just you know, like kind of like the British wave, you know, I want to say 15 years or 20 years before that, when that whole British wave happened, you know, the Stones and the Beatles and this whole thing kind of launched out to the America and the world, right?
Yeah.
And it really launched out of England into America and the world, and it really picked up. I mean, reggae and punk, similar timing, just came to the world at a pretty stagnant time for rock and roll, if you ask me. Kind of a stagnant moment, you know, same energy, really, right?
Yeah, it's speaking your
truth.
Speaking your truth.
And so I feel like I said earlier, I feel like Steel Pulse kind of came when they came, and it just made it. I don't say they had no message, don't get me wrong, but it didn't seem as revolutionary. It seemed like they were more ready to go have fun, like make it so we weren't always, you know, trying to change the world. Like we were just really like, gosh, their music is. I love the songs. Sometimes they'll come on, you can't not just start going, dude. I'm not, you know, feel so much with Marley and Tosh and that sometimes, you know, some of that, but you definitely were identifying like in the 60s where, you know, guys were, you know, writing some pretty meaningful kind of revolutionary stuff, pissed off about things. And then by the 70s, it started being, you know, having a lot more fun, really. The message had been sent.
Right. And it's still transcending and evolving, just like the band. Steel Pulse is still ever evolving into now. The thing about it, this is the 50th year anniversary tour that we've been doing this whole year, and seeing how the music has evolved over the years, like you said, like coming from a militant perspective, you know, and then, you know, their first 3 albums, you know, having that impact during that time. And then Marley passes away in 81, you know, and so they kept continuing that message, that vibe.
50 years.
And, you know, going to other places to record their music in different time and a different experience. Yeah, the music changed a little bit.
Yeah.
The music went digital in 83. And yeah, it was their life experiences and what was going on in the world and some imagination into it. And you have those classic albums like True Democracy and Earth Crisis and Babylon the Bandits and so on and so forth. You know?
Incredible. And so you've been with Steel Pulse now. You started as a studio musician. You kind of checked your whole scene out. And at what point did you kind of emerge as in the band, literally?
So I was started touring with the band as a singer, as a background singer.
Not playing guitar.
Okay. Yet. And the first like show I did was at the observatory, which was the old Galaxy, right?
Okay, yeah.
But I think it was the observatory then.
Is that like Anaheim up there?
Costa Mesa, yeah. And so I started. That was like the first gig I actually did with them, which is really cool because the hometown gig. I saw a lot of people that I haven't seen in a long time.
Totally.
They're like, "Are you playing with Steel Pulse?" I'm like, "What the
like,
heck?"
Yeah, boy.
Like, are you kidding? I'm like, "Yeah."
No, I'm not. That's so cool.
And one of them was Andy Carr, our buddy Andy Carr. He was at that gig. He's like, "I can't believe I hadn't seen Andy in years, man." And our really good friend Nancy Hanna, we all lived in the Loop, you know, back in the day. And
we're talking about the State Park Loop.
Yeah, the State Park Loop.
That's a rad street. Yeah.
And so that was the first gig I actually played with them on stage as a singer, as a backup singer.
Oh, that was the first gig. Okay.
So that all went well. And then
what year was that, do you think?
That was like 2013.
Okay, so a year or so after you first kind of hooked up with the whole.
That was 2013.
2013. So full 12 years ago, almost 13 years ago. Yeah.
Because as we were recording, when we started recording, David was realizing, oh, he can sing, he can play guitar, he could do some other stuff. And organically, I started working with the band, and then they took me on tour, on this one tour through the Rockies, Colorado Rockies, and it was full blown snow. Like we were playing Telluride, 10,000 feet up, like full blizzard, like beautiful though, like incredible.
Beautiful, yeah.
And that was the tour when David lost his voice, and so when Dave lost his voice, we were at the Belly Up in Aspen, sold out show, and I wasn't even on stage. I wasn't even singing that show. I was just there. And the first song, the cut, and then I'm upstairs with our manager, you know, and out of nowhere, Baruch, David's son, comes up and he's like, hey, we need you downstairs. My dad can't sing.
Something happened to his throat?
Yeah, he got sick. He got really sick. And he's like, yeah, they need you to go downstairs and sing for the band.
Damn.
And I'm like, what? And I'm like looking at the manager, and he's like, okay, it's your time now.
Wow.
So I'm going down there. The band played one song, completely stopped. So it's like, you go in there, you can hear a needle drop because everybody's just like, what's going on? Because David just walked off the stage. He's throwing up in the back.
Damn. He's
throwing up in the back, you know, he's not feeling well. So I go up to him like, hey, man, is this really happening? And he's like, he points. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to go.
Wow.
And so I was like, all right.
How did that go?
It's incredible, man. You know, we killed it. Everybody pulled together. We killed the show. Started off the song with, let's see, the song that I started off with Rally Round the Flag, I think it was. And did a couple songs right into the show, and everybody's just like loving it. I'm feeling the energy, and I'm so nervous because I'm like, I know these songs like the back of my hand, but because of the nervousness, I'm like, okay, just don't forget these lyrics, all right? Totally. And and I look back and I see David Hines watching.
Oh my gosh!
You know? And then after like the fourth song, he comes out with his guitar, and he's just jamming guitar while I'm singing, and I'm taking the rest of the concert. So I ended up doing like 3 more concerts on that tour.
Lead vocals. Insane.
And then after that, I was touring with them full time.
Because man, you stepped up and pulled it. At that time, it's like, you know, they could really depend on you, and they know about your talent, but you're there. Like, you know, it's a lot to be pulled up in all of a sudden, right? It's like being second squad on a football team, and you're the quarterback, and that guy, you know, he never really, and then all of a sudden it's a big game, and it's like he gets hurt, and you're like, what's up, boy? It's your turn, and now hitting it. Not just coming on, but hitting it. There's a lot of difference between just showing up and just showing up and blowing up.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to say you showed up and blowed up.
Yeah.
Blew up, mister.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. That's a really beautiful story. Just
and
the organic trip of, I just want to play, and look where that takes it. It's just, so what I want to say to Groms all over the world, people all over the world, follow your dreams, man.
Yeah. And be ready. Stay ready.
Yes.
Because you don't know when that opportunity is going to rise. You just got to stay ready, you know, like that passion, you know, like let it drive you always, you know, don't stop. Always be ready for that opportunity because it's going to come. So you better be ready for that one. And luckily I was. And so then after that, I started playing guitar, you know, and at that time, the guitarist was the guy that I looked up to for so long in that band, you know, and him and I actually are a day apart on our birthdays. So it's really cool. His is on the 25th, mine's on the 24th of September. And we both have like tattoos in the same area. And I'm just looking at him, just like, we're so much alike, you know, and so many years apart and from a different, you know, cultural background, and here we are so similar, and was just so nice and just so inviting and just like encouraging me, just like, and he sees me with a guitar and I'm starting to take some solos and stuff, you know, and I see what's going on, you know, and then one day we come up on tour and, you know, he's not there anymore. Ooh. And, you know, I'm like, hey, where's Mooney at? And they're like, you're the new lead guitarist. Mooney's not going to be touring with us anymore.
Oh, he didn't pass.
He didn't pass.
Oh, okay.
But he was dealing with some health issues that I wasn't really aware of.
Sure.
And I know he was suffering from like a broken heart from his wife passing away some years before. Mm-hmm. So that energy, you know, that was, and he was actually the oldest one in the band at the time. Mooney was a couple years older than David and Selwyn. And so, yeah, I just showed up one day on tour and he's like, hey, you're the new lead guitarist.
Incredible. And you do backups now.
Well, I've always been that. I've always done that. Yeah.
I mean, you do that, but I'm saying you're lead guitarist, backup singer.
And front singer when David gets sick. And it's happened a handful of times, you know?
Oh, my God. And playing lead?
Oh, yeah. All of it.
That to me is just, I've never, ever taken that lightly.
You know, it's so funny.
That's a lot. lead guitar and lead singer. I think that's. I want to give a lot of respect to that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like, I just think that's an incredible ability. I don't know too many people that pull that off, to be honest.
Yeah, it's
a lot
like
of
I
talent,
said, it's just a lifetime of the pursuit of your passion. Really. Yes, and it comes to that time where you're ready for it.
Yeah, well, that's a lot to be ready for. I just got to say, if you get the gig to sing or you get the gig to play lead guitar, but when they say, can you do both at once? I just don't take that lightly. I think that's an amazing comment. Not too many people do that I know.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I mean, I'm saying if I think of all the rock bands and everyone, I mean, Bob Marley wasn't playing lead guitar and singing, was he?
No.
Okay, was Peter Tosh?
I think so.
Lead guitar and singing?
He was the lead singer in the Wailers, Bob Marley and the Wailers. He was the lead guitarist.
Lead guitarist in the Wailers. That's right. Okay, so for his band,
the Wailers.
When it was the Wailers. But it was Peter Tosh. He was. Yeah, that's right. But I mean, just in general, I think if we look back, Led Zeppelin. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, let's just go back to rock and roll or anything. Yeah. We don't see that very often. That's a lot to take on. So that's incredible, David. I mean,
Thanks,
I got to say I give a lot of respect to that.
Thank you. And the last time I had to sing for David, it's a funny story. We show up to North Carolina. We're playing an outdoor amphitheater. We show up, we're on tour, and we show up really early in the morning, and our dressing room will have stuff in it, right, to eat and stuff. So there was this baking company that brings us stuff every time we come to this venue. They make their own rum. They make their own baked pastries, baked goods. So.
And where is this at again?
In North Carolina.
North Carolina, okay.
And there was 2 baskets of baked goods, but one of them was infused. But nobody told David this, right? And everybody else was sleeping. So when everybody was kind of sleeping. He went into the room, and him and our drummer, and they just ate probably 4 or 5 muffins.
Holy,
or a couple, you know what I mean? Like they ate some muffins, man, right? And
oh man,
so
no.
we're like, where's Dave at? And
muffined out.
And then all of a sudden, you see him getting into the car. They're taking him to the hospital.
Yeah.
And they don't know what's wrong with him. We don't know what's wrong with him. We don't. We're like, oh shit, is David gonna die?
Yeah.
Whenever
I did edibles, which was only a couple times, I never did that much. I felt like I was gonna die. I can't do that. It doesn't work for me.
And then our drummer, right? Yeah. We finally realized what happened, because we get the call from the doctors. They're doing all the blood work. Yeah. They're like, oh, he's just extremely high, And it was the edibles that he ate, right? Oh, so I have to sing, right? So okay, we're gonna sing. Me and Selwyn Brown are gonna lead the band for that night, and then our drummer though. So our drummer, you can't play without your drummer, right? You can't play without your drummer.
Of course.
And we're like, we gotta make sure C# can drum tonight, otherwise this concert's not gonna happen. So we're like, here, have a huge, down this thing of coffee. We're gonna put you in a cold shower, okay? Just stay here in the cold shower. So we put him in a cold shower. He's sitting in the cold shower, trying to sober up. Big sold out concert, right? And Sharp's like, okay, man. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, okay. I'm like, you got this, right? He's like, yeah, man.
Oh my God.
And
he's probably never had an edible again for the rest of his life. That's so gnarly.
So we go out there, we do the concert, and it was great.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we killed it for sure.
And you're telling me something about you've been traveling this year, doing the 50th anniversary of Steel Pulse,
Mm-hmm.
and where is that tour taking you this year?
Everywhere, man. It's
how cool is
this? It's a whole nother world tour every year. It seems like we're around the world, 5-6 times a year. Tell you, of course, the United States,
all over the United States,
all over the UK,
all over the
Europe,
UK and Europe,
Australia, the Caribbean, French Caribbean, South America, of course, all
when
the
you
Americas.
say French Caribbean, did you go to Guadeloupe?
Mm-hmm. Guadeloupe, Martinique.
We're
about to head to Dominica in a couple of days.
I've been now?
Oh,
cool. I didn't know that.
Tonight.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought you were done for a little while. I'm stoked we got in here while you're here. I've been to Dominica. Beautiful. Have you ever been there?
No.
Oh my gosh.
This will be the first time for me.
I won't go and do it now, but incredible stories about that island, the adventures that I've had on that island. Insane. You've told me something about you got some stuff you're working on that's like solo stuff.
Yeah, just been doing a few projects. It's inspired by our surf culture. It's always inspired me. My whole life, and to be able to start writing songs, and putting them out myself, it's pretty special. Just because of surfing and music is so, they're a part of each other, that you're free. I feel like surfing for me, the reason why I connect with it is because I feel free, and you feel so connected with, everything around you. Same with music, you're free, you're in the flow, and it's that vibration, the frequency of everything that's just resonating within your body and your cells and your spirit, so during COVID, we didn't tour for 2 years, and I was hanging out down in Mexico a lot with Rusty Long and Greg Long, and down at their spot surfing, and out of nowhere I just started writing a song called The Search, and that was probably one of my first songs that I released on my own.
Okay.
And it was inspired by surfing.
Searching for perfect waves.
Yeah. And just that feeling,
Totally.
it's like the best feeling in the world. And the saying, only a surfer knows.
Totally.
And it just happened to the correlation between the search and searching for Tom Curran. It was kind of I think like a divine timing with everything. And a good friend of mine, Tommy, he was the cinematographer for the Searching for Tom Curran movie. He was the guy who got Tom Curran's first wave at J-Bay. It wasn't Sonny Miller.
Sick.
It was Thomas DeSoto.
Okay.
Sonny Miller's best friend.
Okay.
And Sonny Miller was in charge of all the water footage, in the water, whereas Sonny's best friend, was in charge of the land footage.
Sick.
And he's the guy who got the, and toured with those guys around the world and shot, and was really good friends with Tom. And they were actually reissuing the 25th anniversary of the Tom Curran Searching for Tom Curran movie.
Okay, which was seminal.
Right.
I mean, incredible.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And here I had the song, and Tommy's like, you should definitely put this together with, we need to do this. We need to put this song together with the 25th anniversary release. And
sick.
And Derek Hoffman from Nalu Films, he was spearheading all the archive footage of Sonny, after Sonny passed, and thanks to them, that all happened. Just
amazing,
divine.
You have one of your solo songs on the 25th anniversary of The Search.
Yeah.
Is on the disc.
It's the trailer. Project? It's the official trailer.
Gosh, incredible! That's really cool. And there, so also, isn't there something you guys got going on right now?
Yeah.
It just came out the other day. Maybe tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, just another song inspired by our culture here at San Clemente, and just the new generation of these champion surfers. We call the Colapintos, Griffin and Cross, and Cole and Jed and Cade, and so on and so forth.
Pack right there, pretty powerful kids coming up.
The Carr brothers. I mean, the list goes on.
It really does. There's a lot of talent in this town. It's crazy, and they are certainly spearheading that. Kind of the generation that kind of sprouted from Brother, right? Mm-hmm. Brother came on tour at 17, and I think those kids, came up seeing that, and they were all close, and now it's their turn. They're there just holding the mantle for San Clemente. So, and you guys put up a song or did something, right?
Yeah. So. It was a couple of years ago. This thing's been in the making for a couple of years now. It was the first year that the four made it to the championship tour. They all qualified. So you had Griffin, Cross, Cade, and Cole all on the CT that one year.
Jeez.
When Griffin went for the title.
Yep.
Right. And then Jet Schilling actually won the Junior World Pro that same year. So yeah.
Jet's coming on, man. He's coming on strong. He's right with them. He's right there.
Yeah.
Right? He's amazing. Yeah. It's incredible, the legacy of surfing in this town. It's amazing. And now infusing that with your music, do I understand there's a video or you guys put out something the other night?
So
was there an event or something that happened?
No, it was
you guys just put it out?
We're just putting it out because we've been working on it for the last couple of years, and over the tours, we were going to put it out last year, but we're like, you know what? Let's just wait. We don't have to put this thing out yet.
Sure.
You know, there's still a lot more to be
Developed.
developed around this song. And so we just kind of sat on it. And this past year was just another incredible year. So we're including a lot of footage from the last 2 years of the CT.
Okay.
When the boys were all
and that's
together.
on a music video you guys did called what?
It's called Pulling Up for the Champions.
Pulling Up for the Champions.
Yeah.
And so from what I understand, you got we're going to see a little bit of that right now. We're going to see like a clip of it, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe you could tell us, the audience, we're going to let the audience know. You can see the full thing at, where would they be able to see the full thing?
Yeah, so it drops October 24th on the Cola Bros YouTube channel.
Well, there you go. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to see this, we'll show you a trailer right now, some sort of promo of it. And then we'll come back from that and rap a little bit about it.
The infinite energy, the light of eternity. Infinite energy, the endless possibilities. Infinite energy, yeah. We're pulling up for the champions. We're pulling up for the champions. We're pulling up for the champions. Champions. It's time we check in our minds. Look deep and there you will find your source and the mental clarity to see your dreams into reality.
Well, that was a really cool clip. I mean, oh my gosh, you guys are psyched. And so could you tell me, do you know exactly the locations of where they were surfing in that?
It was just honestly throughout the tour, you had sections where Cole won in Brazil this year, even last year when Griffin won Fiji and Portugal, and they were together at Bells too as well. Cole won Bells and Griffin was runner up, and
gosh, that's insane on his first year.
Yeah, Pipe
Bells.
of course, Chopes, some of those big waves of Chopes, the box of course, and
the box. Yeah, that footage is insane. I mean, that was a really good clip, and the music fits really well. It sounds really inspired to me. And I feel like that's going to, and once again, show the world, what comes out of this town, the people here, which we love surfing, we love music. And that's just a great example of showing that.
Just want to inspire people, to live their dreams and, go for it.
Yes, sir.
Don't hesitate.
Whatever it is, we've seen so much of that here, right? So with that said, with surfing, let me ask you, who are your top five favorite surfers of all time, David?
That's a tough one, man. There's so many. If I could squeeze 5 of them into a list, I would have to start with, Jerry Lopez, Tom Curran, my best friend, Chris Ward, of course.
Because you guys are literally in the same grade.
Yeah, we grew up together.
Incredible,
that's like one of my oldest friends.
So you guys are little groms, on the school bus together and stuff. How cool is that?
We're still partying today, surfing so cool. Today.
Yeah.
And let's see, of course, Christian and Nathan Fletcher.
Yep.
Those guys were just growing up, being able to watch those guys in their backyard is incredible. Inspired me. And Kelly Slater. And Andy Irons, I know that's more than 5.
Well, we can give you 7. It's all good. Top 5's just a start. If you got a couple more, it's all good. We don't got hard rules here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's 7 incredible surfers of all time.
And then, of course, the new champions now, they're my favorite as well. So, really top 10.
There can be a top 10 for sure. It's just hard to, put it in a box, but we start there and see where it goes.
But the most influential surfers for me are definitely Jerry Lopez, Tom Curran, Chris Ward, Nathan, and Christian Fletcher.
I mean, no arguments there. I mean, they're all just so amazing. And a lot of root stuff in there too. It's so cool. And then just to push forward one more top 5, because you're, with your life and music, who would be your top 5 musicians or bands of all time? I know that's a pretty interesting question, but it just really interests me with your background.
Of course, Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Yeah, man.
Yes, and Carlos Santana,
wow.
Legendary.
So legendary.
Musician, guitarist, just soul artist.
Incredible.
Yeah. And I would have to say Jimi Hendrix as well. my favorite. Steel Pulse, the band that I play in now.
Thank you very much.
And I gotta put in a female singer in there, so I would have to say Sade.
Oh my gosh, what a beautiful, amazing top 5. I mean, the influences of all those music, that just hits me as like, what an eclectic mix. I know I've said that word a few times today, but it just seems to come up when I'm around you. I mean, there's just a lot of influences, really cool influences. I just got to say that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that with me, David. And so now what I think, from what I understand, you're going to play us a song today.
Yeah, I would love to.
What's the title of it?
It's called All on the Line. And it's not recorded yet, and just been working on it. So
cool. Well, let's listen to that, and when we're done, maybe you could tell me a little bit about it.
Absolutely. I'm David Electric, and this is a new song called All on the Line, and you're hearing it for the first time right here on Talk to the Doc.
We climb the edge where the air is thin, hearts pounding line like a battle hymn. Every step a gamble, every breath a fight, but we push through shadows, chasing the light. We stand tall, we won't break. For every move there's a stake, everything on the line, win or lose. This is our life, it's the path we choose. Sacrifice, risk, reward, and the fire we ignite. Lion hearts roaring through the night. We wear the scars like a champion's crown. The weight of the world won't pull us down. True dreams aren't easy, they cut like a knife, but we bleed for love, this is our life. Yeah. We lead, we don't follow, no fear of tomorrow. Everything on the line, win or lose. This is our life, it's the path we choose. Everything on the line, win or lose. This is our life, it's the path we choose. Sacrifice, risk, rewards, in the fire we ignite. Lion hearts roaring through the night. We wear the scars like a champion's crown. The weight of the world won't pull us down. True dreams aren't easy, they cut like a knife, but we bleed for love, this is our life. We wear the scars of a champion's crown. The weight of the world won't pull us down. True dreams aren't easy, they cut like a knife, but we bleed for love, this is our life. Yeah.
Everything on the line, win or lose.
That was really cool. I mean, I'm so stoked to be able to hear your solo stuff. You know what I mean? It's really touching, and I wanted to see if you could tell us a little bit about the inspiration for that song.
Yeah, All on the Line. I wrote that after I got injured surfing down in El Salvador. I dislocated my shoulder 7 weeks ago, and it really, all on the line, win or lose. It's the path that we live. It's the life that we choose. So, it was just something that I got inspired by. As far as
like, was this like you got hurt? Tell me if I'm wrong, but like you're from what I know about this wave, you're in a pretty rad barrel, right?
Yeah.
Like what? Like 6 feet?
Yeah,
back?
solid.
Like Hawaiian 6 feet?
Yeah, solid 6
solid
footer.
6 foot backs, right? And I'm thinking about certain days in Hawaii when it's like 6 foot in Honolulu.
Yeah.
That's legit. I know some people, 6 foot, real 6 foot, whatever we call a Hawaiian 6 foot, that's freaking 15-foot face. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And a thick lip coming down, and you're deep, and you're trying to go, well, I don't know if I'm it doesn't look like I'm coming out the traditional door. Maybe I'm coming out the doggy door. And you tell me if I'm wrong, but you came out the doggy door, but the lip said, not yet, boy.
Yep.
And then hit you in the shoulder, and
took
it took
me
you down pretty hard,
took
right?
my arm, and
this song kind of came as an inspiration from the downside of whatever that was.
All on the line,
Sick.
Win or lose. It's our life,
Thank you for sharing that with us. You know, it's so special what we get to do here, be able to bring in musicians in here, something that they're doing in our studio. You know, it just was really cool. And I got to say, man, really enjoyed having you on the show today. It's always good to see you when I see you otherwise, but, you know, really got to find out a lot of cool stuff today. Thank you for sharing all that. And, yeah, just stoked for coming, man.
It's good to talk with the doc, man.
That's right, mister. You come talk to the doctor.